Well, it's one of the greatest love stories of all time. There they are, Alan Rickman and Kate Winslet sharing the screen in Sense and Sensibility.
Oh, look how young she looks there. A decade on, the British stars have joined forces in another period drama. It's called A Little Chaos. The legendary man himself is in town, and our movie buff Giles Hardy caught up with him. Giles, well, Kate and Alan first met on the set when she was just 19, a mere babe.
She was.
19 years old. She said she was very intimidated by his deep voice. Who wouldn't be? So in real life, that resonance coming at you.
Absolutely. Look, it's the voice, but also the knowledge that any individual line he could deliver could just cut you down. I mean, he has every film, no matter whether he's a villain or a romantic lead, he's always had that ability to just sort of suddenly go, shoot the glass.
It's withering, isn't it? It's a withering.
You just know that I'm just going to die now. It doesn't matter. So yeah, no, but he's really lovely. He's very relaxed and he's a true gentleman.
All right, well, let's have a look at you with Alan Rickman.
The gardens of exquisite and matchless beauty. Heaven shall be here.
A lot of Sense and Sensibility fans very happy to see Colonel Brandon and Marianne back together. Was that just a case of, you know, you've got Kate in the phone, you could give her a call?
She's tougher to land than that. Yeah. No, she's very picky, quite rightly. And I knew she would be interested in playing a survivor, and she also quite likes getting wet and dirty.
Speaking of, I'm not sure I'm going to say speaking of wet and dirty, but she was, I believe, pregnant at the time, and you're throwing her about and throwing into what seems like tumultuous and icy water. Is that just the case? She was just game and up for anything?
Well, it was. I mean, the point was that she took me aside. I think we were 2 weeks into shooting. She said, Alan, just sit down for a minute. I'm 9 weeks pregnant. And just in case the insurers are listening, she did not know that at the beginning of filming. But she said, don't worry, I have easy pregnancies. I have a picture of her at 1 o'clock in the morning, up to here in water, with a towel around her head, holding a hot water bottle and laughing. So I guess she meant it when she said she enjoyed it. You're inviting new ideas into the gardens. Why?
Welcome to Versailles.
I'm unused to all this.
You must adapt like a well-trained plant.
You wrote, you directed, you played the King of France. It's a lot of hats to wear. What was that experience like?
Well, it's not advisable or desirable. It wasn't my particular wish to play Louis XIV, but it helped the economics. And in a way, I suppose, if you're playing Louis XIV, you're playing one of the great movie directors, manqués of all time.
Some men are born in the wrong century. I think I was born on the wrong continent.
Do you have a role or a type of role you look back on most fondly?
If you say the name of a film to me, I will instantly think about the people I was working with and where I was. You know, I'm sitting here in Australia and I still have absolutely indelible memories of being in the outback for 5 weeks. I'm afraid to say I don't remember too much about the film, except that I was wearing, by my own choice, black wool in 40 degrees. But I had a whale of a time.
Now, what would 3 young Gryffindors, such as yourselves, be doing inside on a day like this?
I know you've resisted in the past the suggestion that you've played a villain consistently, but you have played some great villains at the same time. Well, I'd argue 3. I think Prince of Thieves has you're pretty decent villain.
I say 2 because Snape is not. He's a good guy.
Well, Snape, well, that's the thing. When are we allowed to finally start discussing it openly?
Well, now, because it's all out there.
Is it 10 years of your life and okay for us to all think of you first as Snape?
It's okay. I mean, there's other things in there too. And if you talk about that series of films, he's quite a complicated person.
Well, in terms of future stories, Versailles is a long way from Hogwarts. Would you go to another franchise? Would you go to that franchise again? Or is it a case of...
I'm very dead.
No one dies in the magical world.
But it's hard to come back from.
Patience, care, and a little warmth from the sun are our best hope.
Giles, nice chat, nice guy.
Look, it's not too hard to make Alan Rickman look good, I gotta tell you.
He can clearly play the villain, he can play the romantic lead. I mean, you wouldn't typecast
And period
him.
drama. I mean, it's good to be the king.
I loved him in Truly, Deeply, Madly.
Yeah, absolutely. And I loved him in Love Actually, when he was the buffoon. He's one who kept stuffing up love in a film where everyone else was trying to get it right. So, yeah, he's very, very versatile.
Guys, I've never got over him in Die Hard 1, Nakatomi Towers. He started it all. There would be no John McClane if it wasn't for Alan Rickman.
Look,
Bruce Willis's career wouldn't be
say he's the true hero of that film, and sadly lost to us all.
Well, look, it was great. A Little Touch of Chaos opens in cinemas across this country on March 26. Giles, good to see you, mate. That was a great chat. Lucky you.
Oh, yes, very much so.